What's up, Xavier? Okay, so a couple things I want to go over here. Alright, so yeah, just make sure we're getting depth. That one was a little bit high. Okay. I'm looking at the hip crease. I want it just below the knee, okay? So, yep, just make sure you're driving the knees out. You're getting good depth. That one's nice. Nice depth right there. Okay. I'd like you to notice how your legs are kind of shifting backwards. See if you draw a line from here to here, they're kind of angled backwards. I want you to pull the hips through a little bit more at the top. Alright, so when I was teaching you how to sit back in the hips, I was having you over exaggerate leaning forward. So pull the hips through at the top, the knees will come forward just a little bit, but the legs stay straight. The first movement is back to that angle, okay? But yeah, just at the top, pull your hips through a little bit more. Make sure also you're staying tight. I just want you to watch your torso angle as you hit the hole. Notice how you collapse a little bit. Just a little bit. So make sure that your back's tight and you're bracing nice and tight, okay? Yeah, so with this, just find a position that you can hold the bar in without any pain, okay? If you want to try like slightly wider grip or slightly narrow grip, that will help. And then also too, I think you mentioned about wrist straps. Did you end up getting wrist straps? So just let me know on that, okay? So on the lift off, I want you to make sure the butt's on the ground, and we're going to create lat tension down into the bar towards the hip, alright? And I can tell that we're not getting lat engagement because the bar goes straight up first and then around, so I'll slow that down. See how it goes straight up and then it starts coming down. So create lat tension in it first. The first movement, the bar should slide into position, okay? And I want you to set your back tight before you unrack it. I like the effort with the feet, but I want to see a little bit more leg drive, so keep driving the knees out. You do a good job adjusting it there. I like the eccentric speed. Also, just make sure the chest stays high, okay? And use the opportunities in between each rep to do that, okay? Like I said, find a wrist position that feels good. I'm okay with it being a little bit bent, so in that case, I just want you to squeeze the shit out of the bar. And having wrist straps will help with that. It'll help facilitate some more of those forearm muscles, okay? Alright, so I think your start position is way too low. Shoulders are directly over the bar here. They need to be slightly in front of the bar. So get the hips a little bit higher. That will straighten out the knees. And all the weight's on the toes there, okay? So hips higher, pull the bar back. Shoulders should be slightly in front of the bar. Alright. And see how the knees stay forward. Alright. But getting the hips high will help with that. Alright. And then on the lockout, notice how the knees are unlocked. I want you to hold the lockout on each repetition. Make sure that you're squeezing your quads, you're standing tall, you're squeezing your butt. And that movement happens from the hips. It doesn't happen from the knee. And I want you to hold it for about a second. But yeah, see how the knees are forward? I can tell all the weight's on the toes. I think as well as like the weight's light, so you can kind of do it a little bit out of position. But with a heavier weight, you're not going to be able to do that, okay, man? Alright, so all I got for you. Have a great weekend.